Because I've already found the schlock movie that I'm gonna. So I was having Schlocktober.
Yeah.
Now I need
So,
something for November, but
huh?
we're gonna go with
Maybe
Attack of the Eye Creatures.
Attack of the Eye Creatures.
Yes.
Alrighty. And by the way, hey, true believers, England teens here. We're talking about Eric Breen's Schlocktober, now Schlockvember movies.
I don't know. Last night I watched Attack of the Saucer Men or Invasion of the Saucer Men or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was so old that Frank Gorshin was like the old teenager guy.
The 40-year-old teenager.
It was so old that you were a teenager when it came out.
Actually, he would have been a kid, right?
No, I would have been like -5.
You would have been a zygote. Yeah, I'm looking for something where people actually may survive to the end. At this point, I watched a whole bunch of You Need to Dies. Now I want to see something. Give me a comedy or a drama or something like that. I don't want to watch a slasher film or anything like that.
This had a drunken bull.
Okay.
And these little aliens, what they would do is they would get you drunk, and if you were already drunk, it would kill you. And the Riddler was already drunk, so he was the only one that died. And yeah, so it was pretty tongue in cheek, but
I saw the original Blob is on like Tubi or something like that. I might watch that. That was a good movie. This year I had like a flavor for older horror films like the Draculas and Frankensteins, and I like the Blob. I want to check that out. Something along those lines. Venkman mentioned the Hammer horrors the other day. Hello to everybody. Austin, what's up? Aloise in the house, as well as Jim Sorensen, Joe Rogers, and Ethereal Dragon. How you guys doing? I got a short box here, but it's not going to be a long haul or unboxing because a lot of it is trade paperbacks. I'm very happy to have gotten this collection. I can honestly say that at least half of what I'm about to show you will not be in the auction. It's just, this is what I collect, and I would manage to be able to get it at a very good price. But some of it will make the auction. It's just which will. Otherwise, we're up. We're feeling fine. Whatever you guys want to talk about, if something popped up on the Twitters and everything, I myself am enjoying the Elon Musk show and everybody freaking out and everybody blaming Elon Musk, though literally he's changed nothing. Well, not literally, but you get what I'm saying.
The latest news is that because the whole blue check marks, he said for $8, a month, you can have a blue check mark.
But it's not just the blue check mark, from what I understand. You get some features and such like that.
True.
So it's not just that. It's like buying priority mail,
And I saw what was possibly the most savage tweet I have ever seen in my life.
And what was it?
And it's by somebody we all know. Used to be the artist on Green Lantern. He's a YouTuber of some renown now. And David Hogg reacted to the possible $20 a month. And he goes, he has $240 a year to be verified. Absolutely the fuck not. Ethan's reply, you're only verified because your classmates paid with their lives.
Oh, oh shit. Oh, good. I would give a standing ovation, but really that would just put my dick at camera level, and I'll just do this right here. All right, yeah, that is a really good shot there, Ethan. I got to give it to him on that one. That is pretty cool. I cannot stand David Hogg, whatever you want to call him. He literally is standing on the backs of his dead classmates. He wasn't even in the fucking school when that happened.
Parkland? No, he was in California. He already graduated.
He is an opportunistic bullshitter.
Was he hanging out with AOC?
Yeah.
Actually, comics? What?
There we go. Okay, I got some single issues here. I want to go through these. Trades. This is something I love these things. They're the phone books. A lot of them are the phone books and such. So let's do this, and then we'll keep chatting. But yeah, once again, good job, Ethan. Good job, Ethan, on that one. All righty. Where shall I? Okay, I put these over here. First up, this might make the auction. This is Showcase Presents the Sea Devils.
Nice.
Yeah. This is Showcase 27 through 29, Sea Devils 1 through 16 of the Silver Age. These are these big foam book, black and white books. I love these things. And next up, one that will be staying with me is Volume 1 of Showcase. So this is like Showcase Volume 1. I guess it's the first 20 or so issues of it. But damn, hey, you know, I always wanted to read that firefighter issue. So there we go. All righty. Next up, we've got Challengers of the Unknown. This is Volume 1. This one might make it. It doesn't say which one's it reprints, but that's Volume 1 of the Challengers of the Unknown.
A couple of showcases in the first several issues of the series.
Oh, okay. I don't know where I am on this one, but here is Batman Volume 4. And this is judging by this cover. Can you guess a number range?
Yeah, probably. Well, if it's detective, well, mid 60s would be my best guess
For Batman?
Batman or detective, because
Okay.
there wasn't a detective essential or showcase, so they would reprint some detectives.
Oh, you're talking about mid 60s as in 1960s,
Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would say between 100 and 200.
That would have been in the Golden Age.
Yeah.
Or at least at the tail end.
No, if it was
Batman?
Batman's were in the 100s, because remember Poison Ivy's 181.
That's right. She's 181. That's right. That would be Silver Age. This is 376 and through 390 of Detective Comics.
There you go.
I know I've got a few Batman books. This one, I got to tell you, I never really had interest in reading them when I was younger, but this is Rip Hunter's Time Masters. And so I'm kind of into it now because of the legends and all that. Showcase 20 through 21, 25 and 26, and 1 through 15 of his original series. All righty. And then from Marvel, we have Captain Marvel, the Essential Captain Marvel, Volume 2. But in all honesty,
I keep seeing the giant prestige hardcover of the Death of Captain Marvel in my shop.
Yeah, this is numbers 23 through 35, 37 through 46, Iron Man 55, and Marvel feature number 12. This is a whole bunch of that Thanos stuff right here, right?
Yeah.
Wow, god dang,
That's weird.
maybe none of this will make it.
Captain Marvel is not in Marvel feature number 12.
And that's up here?
Well, that's the last issue
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah, Marvel feature number 12.
Yeah, because Batman, Iron Man and the Thing fight the Blood Brothers.
Huh. Isn't that something? I tune in right. Hey, LK, what's up?
Which is the
Let's
real
see, any
reason.
gunners and environmentalists don't know what they're talking about most of the time. So pre-superhero showcase. Yeah, well, no, it's got the Flash. Flash was like in issue 4.
4.
So it turned pro superhero really quick. It's just that they didn't have the data to be right away that said, hey, you need to do this again. But that what Showcase was supposed to be was a title that new artists, new writers could try out characters to see who gets a comic. And what was his name? It wasn't Weisinger, was it? Yeah, Weisinger was Marvel.
Oh no, Mort Weisinger was DC.
DC. It's okay. So I was right. Weisinger was. He actually thought that the firefighter character in issue number 1 would have taken off. All righty. Next up, we have Teen Titans Volume 1, and this is issues number Brave and the Bold 54, 60, and Showcase 59, plus the first 18 issues of the Teen Titans. And then we got some more Batman. All right, give us a number here, brother.
Well, that's the cover for Detective 400.
All right. And what we're looking at here is Batman 216 through 228, excuse me, and Detective 391 through 407. Not a bad haul. This is number 5.
Hey, how's it going, Skip Dosh?
What's up? How are y'all doing? What I just hear there?
Okay, so I just turned on at the right time.
Yep. Marvel, says Skip and Touch, and goes to show what I know about Showcase. Oh, you weren't wrong. There was a lot of not superhero books like Cave Carson and such like that in the beginning. Suicide Squad was in the 40s.
Joe Rogers says first appearance of Man-Bat.
Yep. And we also have the first appearance of Ms. Marvel. And Ms. Marvel Volume 1. And that's what it reprints right there. Ms. Marvel 1 through 23 and Superhero Magazine 10 through 11 and Avengers Annual number 10. First appearance of Rogue. A lot of goodies here. Is that the entire run, 1 through 23?
Yep.
That's pretty good. The entire run of Ms. Marvel. Plus early issues that are very important to her. And then we've got Fantastic Four Volume 6. I'm covering up the numbers. What would this give a 20-issue era with this issue?
That would be in the 130s and 40s.
Okay. And what we got here is issue 111 through 137.
Ooh.
This is what you say is the forgotten era, right? Or am I thinking the 200s?
Well, no. I mean, a lot of people kind of forget everything that happened between Lee and Kirby and Byrne.
Yeah. But there you go. Some good books there. The final one is a book that I am flat out 100% keeping. It's Wonder Woman Volume 1. I am a Wonder Woman fan, I've been discovering. These are some decent books. I'm actually surprised at how much I do like the Wonder Woman comic. I got another book that I read a while back. It's called Wonder Woman: The War Years. And it's just basically her first few issues from Cavalcade, Sensational, and the early Wonder Woman books. But these are just a hell of a lot of fun.
It's fine. Of everything you showed, if they were contestants on Survivor, that's the first one off the island.
Oh, yeah? What do you mean?
Nothing against that. It's just that of all the ones you showed, that's probably the one I would be the least interested in.
Oh, yeah? Which one is the one you're most interested in?
Oh, I guess just from say I don't have any of this stuff. I would say the Batman that goes through the early 400s on Detective, the one with the Man-Bat cover.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's good stuff. That's, absolutely.
Well, and then, like, the Fantastic Four would be right up there. And I like the Rip Hunters and Sea Devils and stuff like that because no one remembers them.
Well, that's part of the reason why I am interested in keeping them, because I had no interest in Sea Devils. I got to tell you, I don't have much interest in Sea Devils right now, but there is a curiosity. Okay, what's it about? What is, what the hell? Why? It's obviously a war comic. It's just one that you wouldn't think of because
they were undersea explorers.
Okay. So it's like Challenges of the Unknown. But... 3
guys and a girl. I've only read a handful of them myself. I mean, I think I might have that around there somewhere. But yeah, it's one of the endless DC series that I had all of, but didn't read when I had them. And now they're pretty pricey to get back, so probably won't be.
I will tell you what. You would not believe how much I paid for all these. I jumped on this thing so freaking hard when I saw it's like what, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 of these things. $30, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I was dancing a free. Woo! All right. Hey, this is so freaking cool, man. That is some good stuff.
There's the comics industry is in a downturn right now for everything that isn't like the keys of the keys. Take advantage of it while it lasts.
Well, I'll tell you something. I would love to do a live stream, a video or something talking about this whole thing, talk about what's been going up, what's been going down. There have been some books that have freaking tanked. And I warned, I gave the warning. I got the backlash. I'm sorry, guys. If you're one of the people who gave me shit for what I said, don't speculate on the movies. It's a dumbass way to be. You're gonna what's going on with it, it's not any kind of collectability, it's flipping. You have a lot of people who go out there because they think they can flip something because there's interest from the movie. As soon as the movie comes out, those things drop. Some of them don't drop a lot, but some of them shouldn't drop a lot because they're the first appearance of Moon Knight or the first appearance of She-Hulk or the first appearance of Spider-Man, for Christ's sake. But you get people out there who are like, oh my gosh, Weasel is in the freaking Suicide Squad, or oh, the secretary that was in the 3rd issue of She-Hulk is going to be the secretary in the TV show. And this book goes up in value. Who the honestly cares about the character that Owen Wilson played? Seriously. There was never a demand for it before the show came out, and there's not much of a demand for it now. So it's just this window where you literally, and I've spoken to people who do this, they are literally selling to themselves to drive up the cost in hopes of getting one of you in their snare. And from what I've seen and from what's been reported back, Comic Tom and them, they do the same thing. Oh my gosh, here's the thing. There's been a sale of this issue at $1,000. I can't believe it because it was only $900 last week. Yeah, and guess what? They've got one at their auction and they've got one to sell. So they're pushing these things.
Now, I know some people do that. That's kind of how they have fun with the hobby.
Yeah.
And if it's sort of like if you are a gambler and you have the money to lose, knock yourself out. But the people that are doing that, trying to stay ahead of the curve, they're the ones that usually end up getting left holding the bag.
Yeah, and once again, speculating on the movies is a losing proposition. Do you know what's happening right now? I kid you not. Do you know what's happening in the speculation market right now, Eric?
Nope.
West Coast Avengers. What was it? 45. The White White Vision.
About that.
It's starting to go back up.
What?
This is a book that fucking crashed.
Wait a minute.
It didn't just drop a little bit. It fell off the goddamn cliff. And there's still people like, oh my gosh, they're going to do a series. Let me go get another. No, look, if you like the character.
Wasn't it last week you told me that there was one dying on eBay for 25 now?
For $25. Yeah. There was one. I guess I should have bought it. So, oh my gosh, there's an announcement. Now it's $200. Go send it out. You get how freaking dumb can you get? Look, I'll tell you what. The word is out. Speculators are buying them. Wait. Do not go after West Coast 45. Why? Because right now the speculator is going to play hot potato until the TV show comes out. But after that, that book, which he's not, look, it's the Vision. Go for the first appearance of the Vision. Don't go for this one. But it's going to crash again. Don't be the one that gets stuck holding the bag on it, unless it's the missing issue of your West Coast Avengers collection. Yeah. Will Comic Tom sell Common America for big bucks? He should. I mean, yeah, why not that one? Why are we not hearing about Common America? Because there was literally a $2,000 sale, not once, but there's also somebody who was trying to get that again. So maybe that's something Comic Tom should talk about, how Common America got sold for $2,000.
I just want to point out I've only heard about Comic Tom from you.
I never really paid. I saw his channel a couple of times, but I never really paid attention to him. And then somebody paid me to.
Is that the guy who reads the comic books on his channel?
No,
he shows panel by panel. No, but he blurs out the words.
Oh, that's what is he? That's Comics Explained.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Great voice. That guy's got the voice for YouTube, man. I'll tell you that. And I think he's the biggest channel, isn't he? He's the biggest comic book channel.
Last time I checked, he was. I thought
he's got 3 million subscribers or something. Yeah, he's the biggest channel as far as comic books.
How long he's been around? Has he been around since it started?
10 years. 10 years or so. 15 somewhere. He's been here since.
So that's he was the first channel to do what he does. And that's why he's famous. So PewDiePie got famous.
If someone wants to buy a copy of Common America Volume 1 for $2,000, send them my. Were you not here for that sale? We had an auction and here we are. We're talking to Lim about the book, and the bidding war just went up and up, and it sold for $2,000. I'll cut it out of the video. I'll put it up as a.
Well, no, that's why he's joking about it.
But if you have a copy of AWC, sell it now and then buy it back when the price drops. Exactly. Yeah. But I just don't get it, man. Speculating to the movies is a kind of a losing proposition.
You and I don't understand that, but like I said, there's like for me, I like older back issues, condition be damned, as long as it doesn't fall apart in my hand.
Yeah.
There's people that collect variants. I mean, a good friend of mine, that's what he did at the Cincinnati show, was he took all these really obscure variants and had the artist sign them. I mean, his highlight of his day was getting Humberto Ramos to sign this obscure variant.
Yeah, if it's your collection, I guess. Yeah.
And some people like to, because like I said, it's a little bit more fun, I guess, than the stock market, because you can actually hold your stocks in your hand, I guess. Like I said, it makes no sense to me, but some people have fun doing that. And again, as long as you don't mind the fact that there's a very good chance you're going to be Enron, then
that's true.
But it sucks for, like I said, those that are trying to collect full sets of books, and these put big jumps unnecessarily in titles that otherwise wouldn't have them.
The variant game, from my perspective, is a losing proposition. But
I don't get that either. Yeah. Honestly,
I haven't seen too many that keep going up. It's like they're popular for a little bit and then they fall off. Here's the books that'll probably be in some way, shape, or form a $5 and/or big dog in upcoming auction. First up, I've got Batman 400. Yeah, I'll give you. There you go. Not in bad condition either.
Look at that square cape.
Yep. That's Sienkiewicz, isn't it?
And it's also...
I think so.
Sienkiewicz.
Ooh, some comment on there from the frickin' bird in my ear.
I know. Hold on just a sec, guys. Take some comments. I'll be right back.
I saw Stephen King on there. It's illustrated, I guess, forward by Stephen King on that book. And I saw Art Adams, too. Wow, that bird is like nails on a chalkboard. I don't know how you learn that.
This kind of becomes white noise.
Does it? Like, Zach must like that.
Now, there's some days when that bird gets on my last nerve. It's like the reverse back team. But,
I'm trying to talk, and all I hear is the bird.
But most of the time, I don't even realize it's there.
But no, that's Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like it. Yeah, I'm Doug Mensch is writing it.
And that, I think there's a bunch of people contributing to it. And that was during Sienkiewicz's most bizarre. That was like his New Mutant style art.
Yeah, like I said, I liked his Moon Knight covers. They were pretty good. But like I said, looking at Doug Mensch's writing on there, and Sienkiewicz doing the cover, and then you got Art Adams and a few other people art on there. So, I mean, definitely would be interested in reading that. That's one of your big dogs, or is that your normal ones?
Oh, this is a big dog.
How much are you going for that?
This will probably be 10 to 15. I'm gonna check to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You say big dogs. I'm thinking $80.
Oh no. I don't have any $80 big dogs here. I don't think. I still have a couple left over, which will show up. But yeah.
I'm gonna answer. Yeah, Austin. So Venkman will bid on it. We'll say yes.
I was gonna say. Post Crisis is more closer to
me. It's kind of, well, no, 401 is definitely, because it's a Legends crossover. 400 is sort of like, to me, it's limbo.
It's 404, isn't 404?
Okay, but is this the first issue that was printed after Crisis of on Infinite Earths?
No, there's some in the 390s, but they weren't all. it was kind of left up to the reader to figure out when things actually changed. But if you look at Batman 401, that character that's definitely written in the John Byrne.
That's the
Man of Steel,
Magpie, right?
Yeah,
issue,
issue
right?
3 version.
Yeah, I gotta
Everything
agree
up
with
to
you.
that
This
point was kind of
this is a one shot right here. Basically Nightfall in one issue. Right here. It is awesome. I've loved this issue since the first day I read it when it came off the shelf. It's a single issue story. It's an awesome story, but you're right. I think this is more the last issue of the previous era before.
Yeah. I would, if I had to put it in one or the other, I'm putting it pre.
Yeah, but it would probably.
There was a year.
I think I agree with you on that one.
There was a year that Crisis was coming out that the books were kind of in limbo.
Yeah.
I used limbo twice. But it's, and some of them, like DC Comics Presents, had several issues after their Crisis crossovers and before Byrne turned Action Comics into DC Comics Presents, more or less, because you had the monthly team ups. So it's to me, like I said, it's when like with Superman, they're easy because they had cutoffs. For me, Batman 401, Detective's kind of dicey because there's like a Joker, Catwoman, Batman, Robin story by Alan Davis, like 569 and 570. To me, that's kind of where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I take it back. 568 was a Legends crossover, so you're right in that area. So I don't know.
The only thing missing from the anchors on that book is George Bell.
Now let's see.
George Bell makes
Rob
everything
D is
better.
saying that he got the 400 for the iconic cover. I love the cover. Jackson Raykirk is saying he stopped getting New Mutants after a few. I'm assuming Bill Sienkiewicz. A few of his issues. I stopped at 50. Like they had this series and it stopped at 50. And I just never, it's like I didn't go, oh, this sucks. It's just okay. I stopped buying it. Here is a Millennia that's one of those gold stamp reprint books that are now like $10 and $15 and $20 in some cases. This is Superboy #1. And if y'all are wondering, hey, what to do for a Christmas present for Eglantine, the original Superboy #1 it would be good. So, no, this is the millennial.
I will buy you a photo of that.
Thank you, sir. I
had a friend that had Superboy 1.
Yeah, did you kill him for it?
No, if I was going to kill him for one, I would have killed him for Showcase 4 or the 15 or so original All-Star comics that he had.
You know what?
I just gotta say, he's at your age. You don't have to wait too long. Why murder him?
You know what? I had a choice. Both of them were $200. The first Silver Age appearance of Aquaman, or one of the last issues of All-Star Comics. All right, so here we have issue number 35 of What If Elektra had lived. There we go. As you can see, it's in very good condition. These are in really good condition. There you go. Next up, another What If. Oh, let me get these little tags. He has. There we go. This is What If issue number 8. What if the world knew that Daredevil was blind?
Oh, look at that awesome cover art. That would set off that could set off alarms tomorrow night.
Look at that owl. What a real hoot.
That Gil Kane?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's once again in such good condition too. Damn, look at that.
That's a What If. Cool.
Yeah. There you go.
Speaking of series that have that one issue that prevents people from finishing it.
Oh, What If? All because of the Jane Foster?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. Some books like that causes trouble. But then again, sometimes there's just a comic book that should be worth what if Jane Foster held the hammer money and just aren't.
Well, yeah, but if you that series was so good when it first started.
Yeah.
And even #1 has come down. The rest of them are very affordable, and then I say then you've got $150 for that, and it's not the version that Jason Aaron did. It's just hey, let's just jack the price up on this.
Yep. Oh, and let's see, to answer the question from Austin P, how long did it take for What If Elektra to stay a What If? 9 issues. 9 issues of Daredevil, by the way, and she was back. All righty, next up, kids. Like I said, some books deserve to be higher priced, and one of those books, ladies and gentlemen, is Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo Crew #1. This deserves to be worth more. Don't ask me why, but that is something I do believe. There are some spine ticks I noticed by the bottom staple. That doesn't make me feel good, but there you go. It's actually kind of rare that I get Captain Carrot books. A character that I like, I don't know how you guys feel about it. This is our Army at War, issue number 278. This was really just a random eclectic mix of comic books here, but this is our Army at War number 278, starring Sergeant Rock. Now, how did you come about this issue, England team? Well, I'll tell you. There were a whole bunch of our Army at War that some guy put up for like $1. And I was like, you know what? I'll go too. And so I just went down the whole lot, and that was the only survivor. That's the only one I won. There was like 50 of them, including one of my favorite covers. I forget the issue, but it's Sergeant Rock's face. And in his face, you got like war. And then you got the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and the what's a Poppy's Field and everything. It was such a great cover. One of my favorite covers of all time. I was actually thinking about that, Eric. Greatest covers of all time, right? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, you always go to things like, the very well-known ones, Amazing Fantasy 15, or the issue number 7 of Crisis with the Supergirl. And
yeah.
But I got to tell you, a book I had a while back, I've got to put that up there. The Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love #1, that dark ghostly figure on there. Yeah, some of those 1970s horror books were definitely up there as far as best. Yeah.
Batman 227. It's almost like we should do videos where we pick the best. Oh, wait a minute.
We haven't done that in a while, sir.
Yeah, because the ones you mentioned, to me, they're more iconic than great.
Yeah, the Wolverine with the Hulk in the reflection of the claws. Great cover, but not the. I don't know if I would put that in my top 10. Looking now that I've been looking at some of those pre-code horror and such, like there's some great freaking covers out there. This one, however, I wasn't doing a build-up. This isn't one of the greatest covers ever made, but it is within one of the greatest comic book series ever made. Zach, if he's around, will definitely agree with me. But this is issue number 63 of All-Star Comics. There you go.
I think Zach's thing's All-Star Squadron.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll be good with this.
I love that series.
Yeah,
and you know the story about the Power Girl boob window.
Oh yes, I know that. Hey, I got one for you.
So I was going to ask you, who's the writers on that?
Jerry Conway.
Okay.
And the original artists were Rick Estrada and Wally Wood.
I was planning on doing a kind of a history of a certain thing. I noticed Hawkman is popular now because of Black Adam. So is Dr. Fate. And I was wondering, okay, what can I do a video on with these characters? And there is a little bit of history as far as Hawkman is concerned with All-Star Comics. Do you know that history?
I do not.
Okay, but there, I'll tell you the premise, but this won't reveal the history. So there, you can watch the video and everything. Hawkman is the only character to appear in every issue of All-Star Comics. That is true.
Wow.
And next up, focus. There we go. All Star Spangled War Stories presents Enemy Ace. And that is issue 141. Pretty cool.
Hey,
Well,
really
I think
cool.
it's pretty cool. Then, you know what? I don't know how valuable people think these books are, but I tend to be able to get a hold of not necessarily the same issue, but at least I can get a hold of issues, and they seem to be in decent condition. And I like them. Superman's girlfriend or Superman's pal. I like these. I'm thinking maybe just get a run. I know there will be 1 or 2 issues that are a little bit more expensive, especially 1 and 2. But what's first? We have number 97 right here. There we go with Lori Lamar. And we have issue number 108. And these are books that I just found them in a small collection. Took advantage of somebody having I want to get rid of these books sale and grabbed them. So there you go. Not bad, huh? Some pretty good, decent stuff.
Yeah.
And the good thing is they are big dogs, but they're not going to be break the bank. For the last couple of weeks, I had some break the bank big dogs, but yeah, those are going to be in the 10 to 20 line areas. So yeah, good stuff. Hello to Ash. What's up? Superman's pal and girlfriend is fun. So yeah, I agree. It's just good stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting back to that cover thing. I really did like covering comics. One thing I thought might actually be fun to do is to find these iconic covers and actually do the story behind them. Talk about what's behind the cover. We all know about the Wolverine with the knives, but how about what's on the inside? It's been a while. If you have read it, more than likely it's been a while. So why not? The Superman with the shield and he's holding the eagle. Okay, let's do that cover. But that's just me. I don't know if you guys would be interested. I'm interested in that kind of stuff.
Was it us that did the one of our streams we posed the question, what would you like to see put in a trade paperback that hasn't been or probably never will be?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yep.
Okay, because I didn't think of this the other night, but the Rose and Thorn stories from Lois Lane would make a great trade.
Okay. Yeah, there's some books out there. And it seems weird, especially now when any 6 issues of the shittiest series. Think about this. That Dark Crisis Young Justice is going to get a trade paperback before that Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane story.
Yeah, well,
that shitty Batman book that's going on right
now, Batman Fortress
is going to get a trade paperback.
Yeah,
before. It's ridiculous that you got these great stories out there that tend to get buried, and the shittiest of stories now are getting trade paperbacks. Back in my day, I remember they only did the trade paperbacks for the stories that deserved it. It don't matter if it's Spider-Man, a Batman, a Superman, or any man. If the story wasn't worth it, it don't get the trade paperback.
Just want to point out, you keep doing impersonation. Joe might reach out to you.
I'm not doing an impersonation. And who?
It sounds like a bad impersonation of Cosby there.
Oh, first you get deported. No, that's a very bad imitation. First you get the jello pudding pop, then you put the drugs in the jello pudding pop and give to the lady. You got yourself a date. All right, now that's a horrible Bill Cosby impersonation.
It was great.
What? No, I mean, it was accurate, but it was just really, really bad. I don't know, but there you go, gang. A whole bunch of books. Anything of interest to you there, Mr. Breen or Mr. Venkman?
Of course.
Like
Liked everything I saw.
Oh, okay. Is
Batman
there
400,
anything?
I saw that.
I'm sorry. I forgot two of them. One of them will probably be in the $2. And that's this one.
Nice.
It's just not in the greatest of conditions. Hello to Mr. Ash. But here we go.
Hey, you guys.
How you doing? Yeah,
Thank you
this
for
will
showing
probably
up
be
trending.
this will be $1 or $2, and on the
Nice.
auction, and then there's this.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Wow.
All right, so yeah, those are good. Those are big dogs. I forgot those two. So there you go. Lots of fun. I'm looking forward to it as always.
I heard
Old
there was
Man
a party
England
and I
team
came to
versus Old
crash.
Man Logan. I don't have the claws, but I do have a rapist wit, so perhaps I could take him out through words. They say the pen is mightier than the sword, but not the adamantium claws. I assume since the mid 2000s, every new three to 5 issue miniseries gotten him. It seems like it. It seems like so. Join in the conversation there, Ash. Is there a story that has yet to find itself in trade paperback form that you would like to see?
Oh, geez. Off the top of my head, I can't think of.
Huh?
I'm sure
yeah.
there is.
Well, I personally would say anything between Exiles and Death of Superman
But those have been.
in trade formats.
Yep. I
Okay.
wouldn't mind seeing
I've
the
never seen
later. I wouldn't mind seeing Futurians from the 1980s or the later issues of Elementals. They haven't yet been put in trade paperback.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a cheat.
The 90s Namor, not Namor.
This is a bit of a cheat, but the epic Akira line. It's kind of a cheat because Akira has been reprinted over and over again in the manga, but for Marvel, when it was epic, they adapted it for the comic format. Like they flipped it so you didn't have to read the backwards way.
Yeah.
Which is a process to do. People don't realize there's some complexity to doing that, and it was also colored.
Whoa! We don't.
Yeah,
need that
it's
kind of stuff. I
it's
don't
a
know.
comic of color.
Yeah, come on. It's not a color
Jeez.
comic. It's a comic of colored. Holy
So,
crap.
but to this day, the only way you can read Akira in that format is the original books, which are, last I checked, my comic book store the average price for regular issues are $10 a pop,
Yeah,
and it's like a 36 issue series, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So you
That's,
get to the end. Now it's 40 something. The last
Yeah,
two
you're
are
gonna
like
spend-
$50.
you're gonna spend over $500 to try to collect that series.
yeah,
So
because the
it's-
first issue and the last issue are pricey.
And as far as Namor,
Namor.
he doesn't look like him. He doesn't
Namor.
act like him.
From what I understand, he's going to be a put upon because they said he's the voice of the colonized.
Right.
Were you making freaking Namor of all people a fucking victim? Namor should pop up on the freaking shore of Wakanda and say, "No, this land is mine." It used to be part of Atlantis that didn't fall into the sea. This land, Namor is the most arrogant son of a bitch in comic books. He might be beaten out just a little bit by Dr. Doom.
Well,
maybe.
Maybe put upon victim Namor can team up with animal activist Craven and be a Marvel for the new generation.
Let me hold up my credentials for those little freaking twidiots who go, "Oh, you don't care. Nobody cared about Submariner or Namor before." Okay, here's my credentials. all right, that I've actually read. I've read the John Burns, and here we go, guys. Look, you know, actual Golden Age Namor, the Submariner. Now, Skip actually asked this question earlier, and I've always heard it Submariner. What about you guys? Is it Submariner or Submariner?
Oh, no,
what do you say?
They're both wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I've read it. Submariner.
Submarinera. But yeah, what do you say, Ash?
It's Submariner.
How about you, Eric?
Submariner.
Venkman, the same?
Submariner. That's good.
Just to be different. Yeah, Submariner. But there you go. Yeah, so we see that clip, and at the end of the clip, they call me Namor. I'm like, no, they fucking don't. Nobody in goddamn 80 years has called you Namor.
He's called an underwater dick. Where's he coming from?
The more I see of this movie, you get the review. Oh, the reviews are so good. Have you been seeing these?
Oh yeah, like you'd be allowed to give that a bad review.
Well, here's the thing. The people who are coming out right now are the people who kiss Disney's ass enough to be able to get these early previews. So you know they're going to be coming out. Oh, it's so good. It's so powerful and emotional. Oh my God. I hope they're right. I truly do. I hope they are right, that I'm going to go into this movie and it's going to make me
some
cry.
Some of the things I've been hearing are just so preposterous. I hear like, not only is this one of the best Marvel movies ever made, this is one of the best movies ever made. I'm like, no way. There's just no way. I will be blown away if this is even better than the first Black Panther, which
it was all right.
I only think is about a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it was all right.
You know, like
in the theaters, I thought that was like,
if it's even better than the first one, I will come away a happy camper and be like, yes, you succeeded. If you can make it better, so that's not expecting much. I really doubt that it's going to be based. I mean, just what they have to work with. I mean, they're basically making a movie with one hand tied behind their back.
Exactly.
And does that mean that you can't have some good scenes? Certainly. Ryan Coogler is a talented director. There will probably be good things about it, but there is no way a movie that is completely destroying Submariner, introducing Riri Williams, making Shuri the Black Panther, turning it into a big old it's going to be a Wakanda worship fest. I think you nailed it on the head. This is a movie that everyone that's gone to see were invited to the premieres, or the access media, the people that suck up to Disney, that constantly just shill. So they're going to come out, and every Disney movie is like the greatest one ever. So this one is the newest one, so it's the greatest. And then the next Disney movie they'll come like, oh my God,
if you're a theme park channel, you can get a press pass and you can go and you can talk and it's cool. That's fine. They love it. You post your Instagrams, you do the food reviews. They love it. They know it's free advertisement. So they'll let you in early, and they'll let you in at smaller sizes too. But if you don't freaking toe the line, you lose that immediately. And I did. I went to one food tasting and I gave honest reviews. They literally they follow people around. And they give you things to here, say this, you say, put this in your own words. And it gets ridiculous. And if you don't follow that, you can lose it. There are some, though, I noticed Diz Unplugged tends to be honest and they still get in. But so I guess some size does matter. But yeah.
Ash, are you going to get a ticket and give it to a consumer of color and then stand guard for them?
Nope.
No. Yeah, no, of course not. Oh my gosh, I saw this one black YouTuber, and he played that girl's video, the TikTok, where she's like, white people need to stay away from Black Panther, otherwise they're racist. I'm summing up. And this black guy, he listens to it and he's like, you want Black Panther to fail? You need and that's true. If you for a movie as big as Black Panther, definitely you need white dollars. Sorry to say this to you kids, but here's reality.
Every movie needs white dollars.
Well, let's put it
Yeah.
this way. Yeah, Master P would have paid a heck of a lot less in income taxes if No Limit had appealed only to blacks. let's put it that way.
Really, yeah, that is actually real. A lot of the people you see now, some can get away with it. I've noticed what they do is like Tim Tracker, for example, he will do this. If he's like doing a food review or something, he'll go, you know, it's not my taste, but I can really see you loving it if you try it, blah, 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 blah. So he's not giving the 100% awesome thing, but he's still saying, oh, this is awesome. And I've seen people do like that. Like they'll take a bite of something and their faces will be like, it'll be like Lucy doing the Vitamita Medigen commercial where she's like, it's so tasty too. You know, it's kind of that way. If they could pull off Shuri struggling to become the Black Panther, it might be decent. Okay, so here's a question. Now, we've seen Shuri take the mantle of the Black Panther in comics, so I think all of us were expecting at some point. I thought she would wear the Black Panther outfit at the end of Endgame, even, or something along those lines. But because of hearing the backstage stuff where Shuri was standing up to the mask stuff, do you feel a little bit better about her taking the mantle of the Black Panther, or is it straight up, if it's not what's his name, forget about it?
No, it honestly, if there's some struggle involved, but I don't think there will be because it doesn't work like that anymore. Just like Riri will have no struggle, Shuri will have no struggle, and I can separate the character from the actress. I was impressed with the stand she took, and she's also religious, which was strike 2.
Yeah.
Remember they almost kicked Evangeline Lilly off of Ant-Man and the Wasp over anti-vax status, also. So, no, like I said, it's. I have no plans on seeing it. Maybe when it comes out someday, but I haven't seen the last 5 or 6 Marvel movies. It's not a boycott. It's just I kind of feel like they've moved past me.
Yeah. Was the last one you saw Endgame?
I believe it was. Yeah. I will see the Spider-Man at some point.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people who just decided, Endgame is a perfect ending. Let's not spoil things, and they just stopped.
Well, and I commend people that can just roll with it, but they're definitely, the first 10 years of the MCU, the biggest gripe anybody had were comic book fans that, like I said, really are the last people you should listen to if you're trying to make a movie that's going to make $1 billion, because we'll nitpick it to death.
Yeah, we will.
But now I think those same people have legitimate complaints because, like I said, She-Hulk, and they came out and admitted it was done to piss off people like me. Yeah, congratulations, but I didn't watch it, so you didn't piss me off. I just abstained.
It's funny because it actually pissed off the Black Pills who have to review it every single time. So that's what's more aimed towards them. People like neurotic.
She-Hulk was aimed obviously towards Gary and his troop. I'll comment this on Ethereal Dragon brought up, and they wonder why they call it the MCU. We know that's Gary's thing. And by Gary, I mean the entire freaking crew. He seems to be the head honcho over there. Here's the thing. I don't care about them bringing in I love the fact that they bring in She-Hulk. I love the fact that they brought in Scarlet Witch as a lead character. I'm fine with Black Widow having her own movie. I really am. Bring in female characters. fucking hallelujah. And can DC start bringing them in as well? Let's see some hot girls with the Hawkman. Let's bring that. Let's not cancel Batgirl or Zatanna. Just write them fucking well.
That's the thing.
MCU is not the insult I think that even Gary thinks it is. It's not the fact
on how you
that
look at it.
Well, let me finish. It's
Go
not
ahead.
the fact that these female heroes are in the Marvel universe now, or even that they're headlining most of it. I don't give a because I've been following them for 40 years. What bothers me is that they don't write female characters as human beings. They write female characters as freaking Twitter caricatures, and that's what's bringing it down. MCU, don't care about. I think that's a bullshit term because it's making it seem like your problem isn't the fact that they're being written bad. Their problem is just the fact that they're women in themselves. Then that's it.
I gotta say, anybody who comes across that and doesn't know Gary or that stuff, just sees anybody saying something MCU, you come off misogynist. Even though you may not be, it's just it's a bad term.
Put MCU on your freaking thumbnail and all that, and you lost the argument. And by that, and look, I get it. You win the clicks, you win the views. That's done. But unless you're just if your entire goal is to preach to the choir, fine, you did your job, you're going to do it very well. But if your job is to change hearts and minds, if that's what your goal is, I should say, not your job, but your goal, then you lost as soon as you put MCU in the title or on the thing. It's not the fact that these female characters are being highlighted,
pushed.
Yeah, it's the fact that they're being written like shit. And and by the way, I will put I do say there's always a what do you call it? To the rule. What's that phrase? Yeah. There's always an exception to the rule. Riri Williams is one. It's a shitty character.
I can personally see that they're pushing more female characters, and I see people saying MCU. So I mean, it does come out very misogynist to people who don't know what you're talking about. It just means you hate women.
Okay, but here's the flip side of that argument. I don't have a dog in the fight.
Who do I?
It's a play on words, and since they started doing this, it seems like every female character they're bringing on are fitting what he's bitching about.
Yeah.
You just bitch about, and you're as forgiving as anybody I know. But
yes.
You go down the line now. Now I think I think we may be about to get an exception, and that's the next Ant-Man movie.
Well, I already think there's an exception. I think there's two.
Well, no, I'm okay. Recently,
yeah, I liked the Hawkeye series.
I
liked Ms. Marvel.
I don't. Yeah, did they really harp on those two series?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They really went after Hawkeye. Definitely. I don't know. I kind of stopped paying attention by Ms. Marvel because it's like. You did the same thing for this one. You did the same. It's almost like for some of these videos, and I for some of them and some of their videos, I actually think they're not all the same. There are a couple of good ones and a couple of bad ones in this particular group. But for some of the videos, you could just have the same script and then just go, okay, or Ms. Marvel, and just have that spot where they just put in the name and they could just reproduce the same video over and over again.
Well, so there's reason. I mean, I haven't watched any of his content in years because, again, I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically show up, like you said, to change a few words. And if that's what people are into, then good for them.
Yeah, obviously, they're kicking my ass. So
they're not going to change anybody's mind because Marvel is, or Disney is committed to, that. I love that term that Aaron came up with. The other Aaron, fantagonistic. And that's not going to stop. If anything, it's going to get more. Because like I said that they're fighting a culture war, just like we are. The only problem is they're fighting it from a position to dictate how the match is played.
I gotta ask, did this start from the female Ghostbusters crappy movie, or was this going on before that?
I don't know, but I didn't. You didn't hear this again during the first 10 or so years of the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
because it started with Captain Marvel, was where it really cranked up, and then they realized, hey, we can piss off the chuds, and now they're making entertainment not to reach the most people, but to piss off the right people.
Yeah, She-Hulk was just like man-eaters. It was created out of hatred. That is absolutely that was the big revelation to me. I mean, okay, if you thought that this was a good idea to write She-Hulk, I disagree with you, but this was your choice. Okay, fine. This was what you thought the great creative vision would lead to. But this wasn't a great creative vision. This was, let's put in things that will piss off the fan base. Let's see. MK saying, I think they're written bashing men to put women characters on a pedestal. They're just asking for the MSHE comments. Well, yeah, that's the fantagonistic thing that Aaron Lopresti, I guess, right?
Aaron Sparrow.
Sparrow, okay. Who is Lopresti?
He's the artist.
The artist, okay. The thing is, you don't write strong women by trying to make men weak.
Yep.
If look at the one that everybody points to is Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. Ellen Ripley is a strong female character surrounded by strong male characters and female characters, and just by surviving, she proves herself, not necessarily stronger. They put themselves in the line of fire before her, but definitely that she could hold her own, and therefore she's elevated. When you have somebody like, when you have a character like, say, Captain Marvel, who all the people around her are asshole, weak people that just don't get it, she's not necessarily having to elevate her character at all. She's just dealing with a whole bunch of morons, and it doesn't raise the character up at all.
Right.
Let's see. Maranya saying, regarding Riri, she was written well by Eve Ewing in her recent appearance in Iron Man by Campbell. She is arrogant and essentially puts Tony in his place.
I gotta say, though, every cartoon adaptation I've had of Miss Marvel or Riri Ironheart hasn't been woke. They've actually been decent characters.
Wonder Woman trained her ass off to get where she's at, says Ethereal. Austin says Gary is great when he has Mahler or Shadiversity co-starring with him. I
no idea who those people
are.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you. I've watched a couple of them. There's a guy, I guess. I'm like, God damn it, what are you talking about? And then I keep watching. So I guess his name's Joshua something. He's all right. He's all right. I'm not a big fan of Kennel. Gary, I watch sometimes, but
I mean, yeah, I like him personally, but if I'm going to my YouTube time now, I don't have time to watch everybody I know. And even though I kind of know Gary, I don't know that he would remember me. Yeah. But, again, those are 3-4 hours at a time. And I said, I mean, I'd rather watch the videos that my fellow fossils put out and, and try to keep up with US and Perch and,
I sometimes Geeky Puppet Show too, Breen, right?
Well, that takes time.
I sometimes watch when I'm doing the auction on Saturday. I'll just scroll through, see what people are talking about, because maybe they have a topic we could talk about during the auction if it's possible or something.
I like, what I like doing? Going out to the people who are away from the normal stuff. I like going to the new comic book channels if there's any new ones out there.
It is kind of cool to go to the
like Geeky Puppet Show. They're new and cool and hip.
Geeky Puppet Show. There's oh goodness, I got to get the names, but there's a couple of kids I noticed, and by that I mean the smaller channels and such.
Well, because I like watching the people who actually like the stuff that I don't like, because a lot of times I'll ask them, it's like, why do you like these current X-Men books? And they give me an explanation. And I'm like, well, I guess it works for you. But I mean, like I said, I don't want to be in a circle, a vacuum, where everybody dislikes and hates.
I talked to a gay couple that legitimately liked America Chavez. I mean, like the what's her name? The Gabby Rivera issues. Like they legitimately liked that book.
Okay, but were they comic book fans?
I didn't ask that. I was
Because
just asking.
if you get younger folks that, and I don't mind if younger people, I say, because, hey, Marvel and DC have been working for 10 years to fundamentally transform the comic book audience. They are going to reach some people as they get rid of way more than they're converting or adding. But so I'm not surprised that some people like that. What pisses me off, though, and when you get these people that have been reading comics for 3 or 4 years, they say how much they love like Vita's New Mutants and trash Claremont's version as being istest, thatest, and phobic, and those people can bleep right off or whatever it is Dalton says, because you don't know what you're talking about. If you like that stuff, you say, maybe that stuff that came before it, I understand that it's very well regarded. It probably wouldn't be for me. Okay, I can respect that. But people that trash it, because again, it's like trashing the old stuff to elevate the new stuff, to me is like when the female character, shits on the men to elevate herself. So that's.
I want to do a bad comic beatdown on that Young Justice book and Fortress start at the beginning and go to the end.
Can you imagine if they would have done She-Hulk?
That's a cornucopia of bullshit.
Can you imagine if they would have done She-Hulk in the style of Parks and Recreation? Something like that.
That might actually be fun. I do agree with Jim here, who's saying I had a vision of Law and Order for She-Hulk TV show with some lamer villains, perhaps like Stiltman being charged as a peeping Tom, or Dr. Doom asking what the law is for wanting to take over the world. The Dan Slott run, which is really what this was after. Everyone's, it's like after Sensational. No, it wasn't. The version that they were doing was Dan Slott, not John Byrne.
No.
And it was very much a law comic where they would be in a law office and they would take care of superhero law. Some of it was really good. One of my, I mentioned this before in another stream. One of my favorite scenes was a guy wanted to sue a company because he had a super origin. And now he's got super strength and he's beating the shit out of his wife just trying to hug her. Just trying to, like they slept in the same bed and he rolled over and broke her arm by accidentally hitting her. And, there's stuff like that. This could have been a really good show and they dropped the ball in order to try to piss off fans instead of making a show that, based on the fact that they were going to have a strong female character, they could appeal to all the feminists out there. If they actually focused on that comic book element, they would have also had us. And then they have the largest freaking fan base they could possibly have watching this show. But instead, they decided, no, we don't want you as a viewer. We're mocking you. We're making fun of you for caring about this character enough. You kept it alive for us to do this show. So anyway, go on ahead, Eric.
No, so what the thing they missed, and I'm sure it would be lost on them anyway if I try to explain it to them. She-Hulk is not a feminist. She doesn't have to be, because she's the freaking She-Hulk. And if they had, I'm sorry, this is going to piss some people off, but if they wanted that show to be good, they should have let men write it.
That is true. Men write women better.
They do.
We have seen this. I'm sure there's, like I said, Gail Simone, Birds of Prey. There's always an exception.
But she was following Chuck Dixon's template. Once she evolved past that, she became Gail Simone Twitter.
But yeah, Gail Simone Twitter, not as impressive as Gail Simone Batgirl.
Can you imagine what they do with Peacemaker, but if you did that with She-Hulk, with James Gunn? That running the show, that would have been great.
I'm kind of excited. James Gunn's got the handle on DC, but I'm worried that every movie is going to be Suicide Squad. But then again, with Snyder, I was worried every movie was going to be Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
If you're a Dragon, are you saying you don't like NBC or you don't like Nightmare Before Christmas? I'm confused.
Now, if you go back to, I say, Sensational She-Hulk, there was not one issue where she wasn't absolutely in charge. and guys loved that comic.
Yep. Well, men or most comic book fans like strong women.
Yeah.
Most female comic book fans like sexy strong women. And the modern day twidiots will not ever seem to notice that. They won't pay attention. They won't pay attention to that. This is just the way it is, kids.
Don't you objectify me as I'm twerking in front of your face.
Since we started this, since we were OGCG,
Drink.
the people
Oh my
who
gosh.
write comics and draw comics seem to be increasingly interested in our masturbatory habits, because we would say, no, just draw them the way they're supposed to be, and they would always bring up, oh, you just want to fap to them, or whatever word was the word of the day. It was ridiculous.
Who cares if it sells you comics?
The counter argument would be, all things being equal, wouldn't you rather look at something pretty than not? Now, I realize that the people that the comic book industry, again, this could piss some more people off. The people that the comic book industry caters to doesn't like what they see when they look in the mirror. They're more often than not obese, perpetually angry, looking to be offended, and trying to see where they fit on the victim progressive stack. And that is not a very large, well, it is a very large, but it's not a very large fan base to draw from.
I got to tell you, I don't hate everything in the what is this, phase 4? Yeah. I don't hate everything. Like I said, I liked Ms. Marvel. I liked Hawkeye. I call bullshit. You talk about the black pills. I call bullshit on the black pills for saying it was a bait and switch. They were advertising 7 months in advance that this was going to be bringing in the new Hawkeye, that the old Hawkeye was going to be training the new Hawkeye. So it was exactly what they said it was. So it was called out as a bait and switch. Whether you liked it or not, okay, everybody's got their differences of opinions. It wasn't a bait and switch. I was just impressed with the energy of Ms. Marvel. I had a lot of fun with that show. It was a fun show. So, yeah, it was entertaining.
I didn't think it was fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was
have different opinions.
Pretty boring, actually.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, it was just all about, let's try to give people the Pakistani family experience for 5 episodes.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. I liked that about the original issues, the original miniseries as well. I liked the family aspect a little bit more than I did the superhero aspect. It looks like, what you're complaining about is what I liked about it.
It's more realistic to me.
Yeah. But no, hey, look, not everything is for everybody.
Well, like I told my buddy about, I was like, look, there's nothing wrong with making a family drama about a different culture. I have nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But I want comic shows to be comic shows. That's why I'm watching a comic show. I want to see all the tropes of comic books that I love. I want to see the hero's journey. I don't want to see you turn that into something else. And that's what Ms. Marvel was to me. And it just
didn't work for you.
It was like, I was struggling to try to find, like, we just finished She-Hulk, and I don't think She-Hulk was a great show by any means, but comparatively, like, I was like, I didn't find myself, like, it was like hurtful. Like, it was like a struggle. I'm like, I'm literally bored. Like, I want to get up and go do something else. At least with She-Hulk, it was dumb, but there was some level of entertainment in its stupidity. It's almost like the America Chavez of MCU shows. Like, the stupidity and the badness almost worked for it. I kind of wanted to see how ludicrous it was going to get next, because I just couldn't believe. I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
Miss So was saying she couldn't get into She-Hulk. And also, it seems you have people disagreeing with you, or agreeing with you. Excuse me.
And look, I'm not trying to elevate.
Ethereal Dragon said he couldn't get into the first episode. So, obviously, and that's the thing. Not everything.
The first episode of She-Hulk is the worst episode.
Well, I thought that was for the Ms. Marvel.
Oh,
But, either way,
Marvel.
either way. I didn't think the first episode was the worst. There was, yeah, but I get it. Couldn't get into Hawkeye or Ms. Marvel, says Miss So either, but appreciated the effort.
I did actually like the Miss Marvel because it did remind me of the Miles Morales story, being a kid. Same with Spider-Man, being a kid, having to hide the fact that you have powers from your parents, you know, or hiding it from your you know, a guardian, I guess, and trying to learn more about it and adapt. And you have people coming after you. I mean, same with Peter Parker. To me, I got that aspect. So was very comic book to me.
Gail just walked in. Let's see. People may not hate the MCU now, but they know it should be a lot better. I think that, and this is just opinion. Obviously, you guys could tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I think they've trained their audience to expect movies to lead somewhere, and right now, it seems like it isn't leading to anything. And at this point, they've announced, but we've got Kang over here, and we've got, but too little, too late. They set everything up without clearing a path.
Nah, I don't think that that's an issue at all. Because we just watched Werewolf by Night tonight, and I hadn't seen it, and everyone walked away. I was like, that was entertaining.
That's
has
true.
Nothing to do with the greater MCU that we know of. It's completely self-contained, but I was entertained. I was like, oh, that was cool. Like I was like, man, I kind of hope they do this like every year. Do like an annual like horror thing, like a special hour-long Werewolf by Night 2 or whatever you want to do. Like every year, do totally. I don't necessarily care. In fact, my favorite episode of the She-Hulk was the Daredevil episode, which was episode 8. And one of the things I really liked was I was like, man, they made Daredevil feel more comic booky. Like the Netflix show had a lot of the drama. It had some good like fight scenes, but it just made him feel like a martial artist.
Yes.
When you read Daredevil comics, dude's leaping off buildings. He's doing crazy acrobatic nonsense that you can only do in a comic book. And the show made Daredevil feel like that. Dude's leaping off buildings and doing crazy stuff. And I was like, yes, give me this. I want a Daredevil show to look like this.
That, by the way, was also done in the Ben Affleck movie. He was able to leap far more than a normal human would.
Swinging from things, yeah.
So, they did that then also. They kind of embraced the comic bookness of the character. And I agree with you. It is it is more comic booky. I didn't hate that issue or episode. I didn't care about the ending where he's walking.
Oh, I hated that part. I was like, this is what She-Hulk is doing wrong. Every single time it does something good, it goes like steps on it. And it just like
I didn't mind that at all.
The walk of shame thing, I mean,
it wasn't a walk of shame. He was whistling
and is happy. Yeah, so it's not like he's awkward. Like, oh, that happened drunk. No, he actually.
Yeah, it wasn't a walk of shame. He was whistling.
It doesn't. He was just trying to speak in code.
He was strutting.
Regardless, it had no point for the story. All it did was.
She got a booty call. That was her first booty call that she liked.
Yeah, but it just took it. Yeah, but the Marvel characters don't exist to be booty calls. That's just. You're just I don't know. You're staying.
She-Hulk has had many booty calls.
She-Hulk.
Iron Man
at the beginning of the Dan Slott run, as a matter of fact, which you're taking from, she was very much a bit of a slut. And
and let's not pretend that Dan Slott is actually the epitome of what comics should be.
But she got kicked out of the Avengers
era of bad comics.
Didn't she sleep with Juggernaut?
Not Dan Slott She-Hulk run. No. Dan Slott was fucking awesome on She-Hulk. I'll back that up any freaking day. And that's what they were taking from. They weren't taking from John Byrne. They were taking from the Dan Slott run. That was not walk of shame.
She slept with Tony. She slept with Juggernaut. They didn't. I mean, I would be surprised if she's
Hercules.
Yeah.
John Jameson, Wyatt Wingfoot. Guys, who else? There's a reason why she got booted out of the mansion.
Yeah, that was the reason.
I may be alone, but I think the slutting up of the Marvel Universe was the beginning of the downfall. And if you guys look at it and go, no, I'm cool with every Marvel character sleeping around with every Marvel character, I guess everyone's different, but I just think that's stupid. I think it's helped bring forth the current Marvel universe we have today. And that episode signified this sort of intention that the MCU has where, well, we'll just have all the characters sleeping with each other. And I was watching that with two young kids. Like, I was like, this is just not comfortable. Like, I was enjoying watching comic book shows, and they're just turning this into like smutty crap.
Okay, the thing about that is that I felt, could be wrong, and if you in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you think I'm wrong, by all means, I felt that they were setting them up for a relationship. I actually didn't think that this was really one night stand material, but that's just me.
Yes, MK. What I'm saying, Marvel is friends.
With Daredevil, Daredevil, that was more than just a booty call because he came back and he had dinner with her family. Now, the guy in the beginning, she was actually had hots for the guy she met at the wedding, but turned out he was just a plant. He was there to use her.
Okay.
So they weren't just random, like, really booty calls,
I don't know.
Dude, the whole episode, the point of that episode, when her friend comes over, I guess we're talking spoiler territory now. So when her friend comes over, it's like, oh, like you just gave him the walk of shame, like, and her whole point, like, she has this inner monologue she says to the camera about how she just like had a one night stand, like, just I was like, this is just stupid.
I'm not saying her dialogue wasn't stupid.
Here's a question for you. And
it served to bring both characters down.
Eric's kind of already answered this. So here's a question for you guys in the chat, and not just Marvel, but I find myself a little bit less enthused with every announcement. Are any of you guys feeling like I'm going to go see it because it's a comic book movie and I don't feel a sense of obligation towards it? It's just I like comic book movies, therefore I'm going to go see it. But I got to tell you, I'm not as enthused anymore. I'm like, oh, well, they're going to do this, because first of all, I can't even promise that they're to myself that they're actually going to do whatever project they announce. So I was wondering.
I'm less enthused. It's not just the MCU though. I mean, it's Star Wars for me, because I'm a bigger Star Wars fan than I am even a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
The problem is once you taint your brand, you lose something. Like, people were enthusiastic about the MCU because it started off so great. Yeah. And it just kept seeming to build and build and build. And even by the time you got to like Iron Man 3, people were just like, I mean, some people just loved Iron Man 3. And that's fine. There were like hiccups, but people were like, okay, whatever, like keep moving on. Like that train was going. But once you tarnish the brand to a certain level and you bring it down and you show people kind of behind the curtain, like, yeah, we can actually make this stupid, then people realize like, oh, this isn't just the golden goose. Like, we are able to just get crappy nonsense. And so people start getting a little bit skeptical about the next film. But there was a time where Marvel could do no wrong. Like, you just launch a Marvel movie. They could, that's what they could have done. They could have literally just called their movies Marvel movie. People would have gone to see it. I mean, that's why Captain Marvel made over $1 billion. They didn't make $1 billion because people were in love with that movie. The hype at that point for the MCU was so through the roof. You could have put anything on the screen and people were going to see it. But you take Captain Marvel and then you immediately followed up with Endgame. And by that point, people are like, what the hell? That was like a 1-2 punch. Like, people were like left dizzy and going, oh my gosh, I see the cracks in the armor. Like, and then you followed up with Phase 4 and some of the decisions that they've done. I'm pretty optimistic. Like, I actually think Black Widow was in the top 50% echelon. If I take the top 50, bottom 50, I think Black Widow is good enough to be in the top 50%. I actually think Loki's one of the top 5 of the Marvel things. There are things in Phase 4 that I really like, but at the same time, there are things in Phase 4 that are utter garbage. Like, the worst of the worst is all in Phase 4. And like, when you're making Miss Marvel look not so bad, you're doing something wrong.
All right. Let's see. Spiffy is saying she's no longer enthused at all. It used to be, wow, they're doing this comic. Now every time they announce something, it's wow, now they're ruining this comic. Which brings up Maranya is saying, have y'all heard about the new Wonder Man casting? It's basically Black Manta from the Aquaman movie. And
is that been finalized? Because I heard it was still a rumor.
I don't know. The last time I saw it, he was in talks, so I don't know if they signed the papers or not.
This sounds like Black Superman all over again.
All I know is it does. Every time they announce somebody, either actor for Blade or now for Wonder Man, I can never remember what the hell the name is. It's like they're just choosing people with people have the most
random
names.
race swap one, I guess. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know if I want to. I probably will talk about it individually, like on a video at some point in time, but I don't know if I want to play the game anymore. Hey, look, we're race swapping. Oh my gosh, grrr. Hey, we got that free publicity. I don't know. I know it gets clicks. So
I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I said it's lazy to just race swap a white character, a black character, instead of actually taking the 15 or more black characters that have never been on
and that's
an MCU
been the
movie.
argument. It's the same argument. I've got that top 10 characters that deserve a movie, top 10 black characters that deserve a movie before they race swap.
You'll never see Bishop.
I just keep releasing that video over and over.
What number was Wonder Man?
I know, right? Let's see.
Speaking of black characters in movies, though, I made a tweet a little while back, and I think this is really relevant. So that there's a new trailer for the Creed 3. The Creed series is, you guys may be aware, it's a sequel to Rocky.
Oh, it's done.
And I was like, dude, that trailer looks amazing. Looks like it might be the best of the series so far, according to trailers. But I was like, this is how you do it. Look, they didn't just go say, hey, we're going to race swap Rocky Balboa and make him a black guy this time. They made an original character, has his own story. He spins off out of the same universe, and they build a franchise around him, and they make good movies. Now the second
and they rewrite old movies. They rewrite old movies to fit this new character.
But he's got his own thing going on. And it's like, yes, it's some of the tropes are similar.
Oh, no, it's not the tropes. It's the movies. Creed was Rocky 1. Creed 2 was Rocky 4. Now they're doing Rocky 3. But you didn't notice that, did you? I don't agree that that's actually the case. I mean, they're taking some of the tropes. This is one of those situations, Ash, that there's no agree or disagree. Well, this is what they've been doing. No, there isn't. This is because they redid Rocky 1 with Creed. Then Rocky 2 was the Rocky 4 story, except the guy comes over to America. This one, the character that he's fighting, that's Clubber Lang. It's a stand-in for Clubber Lang, that entire thing. The only difference is that they actually are giving more story than just he's a badass. They're giving him a connection. They're making you want to be emotionally tied to both characters. I'm agreeing with you that I think Creed is a very well-written reboot, but I think it's one of the things that makes me think it's a very well-written reboot is they've only been redoing old plots, but they've been doing it in such a way that it's not exactly recognizable as old plots unless
it's full circle. Rocky is Mickey in these movies.
But okay, so
I don't know. If you haven't seen the third movie, I don't know how you can claim to know that they're just copying the same.
I didn't say they were copying.
Yeah, you did.
Actually,
I said
I did not.
Tropes.
No,
You're like, no, it's the same plot.
They're copying ideas.
And then they take it and they do completely different stuff with it. That's what I said. That's what I was complimenting. The fact that they took these old movies and they rewrote them to the point where unless you're looking for it,
it's Creed
you don't notice it. Yeah, but they have been doing
I disagree. I think that's silly to be like
you're disagreeing with facts, brother. That's
there's no fact. Rocky or Creed 3 is about he let his friend go to jail, and his friend was a better boxer, and he cuts out of jail, and now he wants to train with him. And then, if anything, if you're not even finding the right copy, if anything, it should be more like Rocky 5. But it's not. It's its own thing. I mean, these movies have similarities because let's face it, there's only so much Rocky movies really do. It's all about this coming up story and
Rocky
beating.
by the way, was I could see you going.
But in the first film, it's not about a guy who's down on his luck trying to make something of himself and go the distance. It's about a guy who's had everything handed to him and he's living in the shadow of his father's glory and what he's got to do with that. I don't know. Anyways, my point really is off the rails. My point was you can make
coming from the point of privilege, the rich guy, and then you have the hungry man who wants to beat the teetotal hell out of him and prove that he isn't all that tough. It's the same thing, man.
Gentlemen, I'm going to step out here because I'm going to watch
the
Attack of the Eye Creatures and find out why that didn't become a franchise like Creed.
Oh, there you go. All righty.
I think somebody got shortchanged.
Well, wait till they
no worries, man.
I'll see you guys.
Wait till they race swap that creature, okay?
Yeah, that's right. That's the new story.
Well, my point was to say though that people often say like, "Oh, you can't do it," and I'm like, "You can do it. This is how you do it, and this is the way comics should do it." You know, this is like what Miles Morales should be done the way Creed is being done. Whether it's in the comics or if they eventually put him in the movies.
Day he was, but instead they decided to bring him over with the main universe. They have no idea what they're doing with him.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Instead of living in the shadow and being Creed isn't about a dude who calls himself Rocky and lives like I'm the new Rocky. I inherited a mantle. Like they're not doing.
Yeah, they recreated.
I understand it's different. Yes.
I like the Creed movies,
but I'm saying as far as Miles became he became the new Spider-Man. That's how it was. He took up the name Spider-Man as a mantle in that Ultimate Universe, and then was given the blessing by Peter Parker later on.
My point, though, I guess I wasn't very eloquent, was that you don't need to do mantles. You can literally have characters establish their own identities and thrive on their own identity.
Like I said, I love the fact that the new cartoon everybody hated after Ultra Spider-Man ended. People didn't like that. Then they created a new one. They had Miles in there, and he called him Kid Rank. He's like, "Don't you hear call me that?" He's like, "Well, I'm not calling you Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man." So at least they made fun of that stupid trope,
Yeah. Okay, kids, I'm going to call it here. We've been going for an hour and a half. Gail's downstairs. We need to talk family stuff. Elizabeth went to the hospital tonight, so I'm going to talk with her. Yeah.
Real quickly, honestly, my three things.
She's okay, but I do want to have a little family powwow and all that. So.
I just want to say the three things I'm looking forward to from Phase 5 is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy, Loki Season 2.
I want to see this Christmas special that's coming up and Ant-Man, but mostly I want that Dr. Fate movie that doesn't exist. But yeah, there you go. Anywho, once again, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you to Eric and RDV and Ash for jumping on and keeping the conversation going. And to everyone, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Good night, kids.